Hi, welcome to another episode of the Jumping Podcast. My name's LoganSama. I'm joined, as always, by Kim1234 and Shady. What's going on, Mr. K?
Hey.
Busy week. NorCal Regionals, second premier event that happened. Pool of Death, Marn, Infiltration, our overlord. Alex is out now, kinda. We're recording this on Tuesday, so Alex is out if you've got a PC, but not if you've got a PS4. Lots of stuff to talk about at the moment. Let's kick it off with NCR, I guess. Is Infiltration going to win every premier event?
It's certainly looking like it. It looks like he is a step above everybody else, huh? And Nash is not supposed to be that good. He's not supposed to be top 5, but he is definitely killing everybody. Or is that just the player?
That's just the game and the player, right? Like, the tier list doesn't really matter. But I feel like we're always wasting time talking about tiers because they're so compressed. It's like if Chenli's 100, right? Then the worst character is like an 85 or a 90, right? You guys can agree with that.
Well,
I think Rashid's like a 75 at best. But yeah, I love the distribution. Like I think a great player can probably beat you with any character they see fit, pretty much. Obviously, at the moment, there's like tiers which everyone gets occupied over, and then there's like a meta game of what's good at the moment, and that's constantly changing and shifting. So, and that's the exciting thing about learning matchups and experimenting with tech and all that stuff. The meta game shifts and changes, but at the moment, right now, it seems that Nash plus Infiltration is triple S tier.
Like there's a couple things that he's doing that seems like it should be common sense, but after the fact, you're like, oh, so that's why Nash is so good. V trigger to escape the corner. He's extremely slippery. Anti-airs are on point. Only issue is no reversal.
If you watch Infiltration play Takedo, which is obviously the grand finals that we've seen both times, Infiltration is happy to just walk backwards the whole game.
He'll corner himself.
Whole game into the corner, and then he'll just wait for that 2-frame window that he needs to safely V trigger out of there, or V reversal if he's got the option to. In the first set that they played at final round, he was so good on defense, Infiltration, and I think I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Sien that said it, but he said the American players are too focused on offense and they're not focusing on their defense enough. If you look at how Infiltration plays, the fact that he knows like his meaty setups and his pressure strings and he's got setups with the V trigger and that sort of stuff, that's like by the by. That's like, to him, that's like learning his BNBs. I think what sets Infiltration apart is the fact that he knows what to do in your pressure strings, probably better than you do. So I was watching him against Takedo, and Takedo was doing back hard kick basically every time on Nash's wake up, because he's not got a reversal, he hasn't got a wake up option, so you can pretty much meet him for free, right? And Infiltration was doing jab tech OS with, I think it was medium punch actually. He's doing medium punch tech OS. But also because of the fact that the back hard kick hits twice, he's still able to V reversal the second hit and get out of the corner. So if he's cornered himself, which he's doing like twice a round almost, because he's literally just walking backwards for the whole round until he feels like dashing in at you, which makes that super effective, by the way, because you're so frustrated about trying to get in that dash is free as fuck. But yeah, he's ready for that back hard. So he's got answers to your pressure. And that's just the Ryu matchup. I mean, when we first saw Infiltration coming into the circuit, like with the notes and stuff, he hasn't stopped doing that. He just doesn't sit there reading it in front of the cameras. He's got notes on everything, notes on every player as well. And I think the big difference that sets him apart is that for me, it looks like Infiltration's playing Street Fighter V and guys like Justin and Takedo are just playing Street Fighter. Do you know what I mean by that when I say that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, first off, just to counter your statement on how he has notes on every player in the game and the character. I mean, I would say that if the other players did the same thing that he was doing, Nash would. I mean, so the reason that Nash is so slippery right now is because people's their meaty timing is off. They totally forget about what string that you should use so that you can counter his V trigger. I told you in a private chat earlier yesterday that I thought his V trigger was completely safe to attacks, because from my my test that I did, every time I tried to swipe with Bison afterwards, it would just go right through him. But then there was just a couple of frames at the very end where where you could actually hit him with an attack, not just a throw in the beginning, right? So right now, I bet you the majority of people at NCR or whatever major have not practiced that counter, or at least have not practiced it enough. Because for me, in order for me to counter that, it took me, I don't know, 10 minutes at least to find out the right button, to find out the right move to do. So I just think that he's doing more research than everybody else.
He's working harder than everyone else. Everyone's getting by on fundamental fighting game skills, which is very much what I see from a lot of American players. Like when a lot of the Europeans go over to America, our players lose because we're not as talented at the head-to-head matchup, like playing people. But in terms of tech and like knowing that stuff, some of our players in Europe are like, look at Alioun is incredible. Problem X has got great stuff as well. A lot of the young kids coming through as well, like tons and tons of tech. But that head-to-head matchup stuff, that's what they generally lose on. But when you take someone who's doing both of those things, like Infiltration is, like some of the Japanese players are now, it really shows. When I'm watching professional players that are not doing meaty setups and are getting jabbed by Chun-Li every time on wake up, or Haitani is just freely doing wake up jab V trigger against everybody
every time,
like freely, because people haven't even bothered to sit down for like 15 minutes in training mode and get their meaties down. And Shady, I mean, I know you've done a lot of work on the Prima Guide and stuff, and from like your interaction with Capcom, you know how important like knowing shit is in this game.
Like you said earlier, it's bread and butter. It shouldn't be an afterthought. It's what you're supposed to learn. That's part of your offense. That's part of your, like, it's your combo, right? You do this shit because you know that character can't do anything unless they have an uppercut.
Well, right now, I just want to say that Street Fighter V at first is a one-player game. You have to make sure your meaty timings are down. You have to make sure all your combos are down, and only until then can you play against other people. Because if you play against someone that has a clue, or that is really good, they will know that like this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have the exact sequence down. You know, the sequence part where like for example, let's say like dash with an attack and then press an attack, that will for the most part cover like a punch wake up, or I don't know what it's called, normal recovery. Let's just call it that, right?
Normal recovery.
Normal recovery, right? And but then, because of that 5-frame difference between the back recovery, I bet you a lot of people still have not gotten that in their muscle memory yet. So that alone, and that just, I mean, there's some videos online to show you how to play a character and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of videos online to show you how to apply legit pressure. And if you miss it here, then the opponent is probably going to do this the next time. But there's a certain thought process to that, right? And in order to get there first, you have to know what you're doing when you're attacking. When you walk forward and then you react to them getting up, for the most part, it's going to be too late because of the lag in this game, right? Like you can't react to it every time. And we can talk about that later too. Yeah. So I mean, like if I see someone playing and they're just like walking and doing their setups like that, I know that okay, maybe this dude has not practiced as much as he should. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's. I haven't tried yet, and I don't want to say imperatively that it's not, but I don't think it's possible to react to the different, the normal and the flip recovery. I don't think it's possible to react to the difference quick enough.
Not every single time. Like I've done it, but then I don't know if I've like I just had anticipation on a certain wake up.
My next point is that as you go deeper into the game, Javits was like the first person to really put this out there in a way that people can easily consume. But that 5-frame difference on wake up, you can cover that with normals that are active for 4 frames. So that you can do a move that will hit the opponent before they can get a wake up 3-frame jab on normal recovery, and it will hit them on the first frame of their wake up on backflip recovery as well. So it removes that read, I guess, of what type of recovery they're going to do. And you can react, obviously, to no recovery at all and do another setup. And there's only one timing for that as well. And there's not every character can do that. And obviously, it's a lot easier if you have got you're playing against someone who's only got a 4-frame jab or something like that as well. Makes it easier to time. But there are characters out there in the game, like Karin's one and Nakali's one. There's a few others as well that can safely pressure you and cover both of your wake-up options. And that stuff's going to be really important as the game goes forward, because...
The most important? I mean, at the moment, I would say that's something that you have to practice. You have to know. Yeah.
And that's why, having the frame data in your hand or the book whilst you're in training mode and learning these things, it's really important to know, because momentum. This game's all about momentum, right? It's all about turns, as people are saying. No, it's all about momentum. And if you're scoring a knockdown and that goes from your turn into their turn just because you haven't got your timings down right, then that's a big mistake on your part. And the damage and the stun racks up so quickly in this game that you can go from, okay, I did a combo into a knockdown to, oh, I'm in the corner. Shit, I'm stunned on my next hit. And this character's got a fast overhead and lows, and fuck, what am I going to? Oh, I've lost. Literally in that quickly in this game. So that stuff's really important. And when I'm seeing professional players getting jabbed on wake up consistently by their opponents, and I'm talking like not they're jabbing the whiff recovery of a normal, which means that you just guessed wrong on their wake up option.
They're getting counter hit.
They're getting counter hit on stuff, or they're doing like 2 dashes forward, as you mentioned earlier, after a knockdown, which is like minus God knows like 10 or something, all day to press a button on them, and they're just gonna take it and get comboed. And yeah, I think just the way that people are approaching the game, if you want to be competitive, you need to look at that stuff that those guys are doing. The guys that are winning they're covering those options. They've got that meaty stuff set up. They know what they're doing after all of their characters' B&B knockdowns and throws and, all of that stuff. It's really important. I can't stress that enough, on a competitive level. You need to know it. You definitely need to know it. And you also need to know it for other characters. That's the matchup stuff you need to start learning. And the game's only just over a month old, so I'm not going to be like overcritical and expect I don't know loads of stuff in this game. It's incredibly difficult for me to get into the commentary side of it and start speaking authoritatively on everything. But these are like basic tenets of the game, like the game is based around turns, and to give your turn up it can be incredibly costly, as we've seen when you're playing against characters like Armika and that sort of shit.
Well, I was about to segue right to that, because the whole topic of losing your turn, I think that should be that was the theme of NCR. Like Mika is a nightmare of a character for sure, absolutely. But her one weakness, which you should always be able to cover, is that she has no true wake up. Her EX, what's it called, Peach Bomb or whatever, is that what it's called?
Shooting Peach, yeah.
I mean, it's not active immediately, right?
So the armor on that move, on that EX move, as with pretty much every armored special in the game apart from Birdie's, is only active on the 3rd frame. So that means for 2 frames of her wake up, she's got no armor at all. So you can meet here all day. EX grabs in this game aren't invincible. So she just has to take it. And if you're meeting her with a jab or something that you can cancel, it's not got a lot of recovery on the move, she can't V reversal either.
We could have lost an ESPN Marn moment if people just played the matchup. And if they just, of course it's a tournament and they're nervous and everything. But if you want to punish the shooting peach bomb or whatever it's called, punish it with something heavy. Because people they just want to throw immediately or something like that. You could
that's -10
with Bison. I could do stand roundhouse. That's my most damaging combo right there.
Yeah.
So do that punish, get your meaties down, and then what does she have left? Like sure, when she's gonna hit you, it's gonna hurt, and there it's a bit of a 50-50. But she should have her design. She should have a hard time getting to you because she has no footsies.
No.
Like she's gonna drop kick
Mark
on you.
was just clapping.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was just fishing for that shit,
Yeah.
and like people are taking it on
-2,
block.
right? -2, right?
It's -2. You can't hit confirm into the follow up. You have to commit to it, right? Shady,
Exactly.
am I correct in saying that?
I don't know, man.
It's too fast though. It's too fast to react.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like some crazy option select on hit, like there is 10 standing light punch, and if there is, it'll be matched out. But
people don't even punish the follow up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
She's just doing it.
So like, if he does the follow up,
Too scared. That's why.
And you not going for the -2 one. Like I saw people jumping away after mine.
Yeah, they're so
if he does the follow up, it's like -40 or something ridiculous like that. It's like a whiffed command grab, but it's not actually a command grab. So you can just let her do it in front of you. She's down. You can dash forward and still do your best combo. You can probably get a jump in off of that, I'd imagine. Like
that's interesting.
But that's what people are not doing yet, and they will do.
Just
that's what I said at the start of the game. I really think as this game goes on, we're going to see, obviously you've got people like Marn who are having a whale of a time and so entertaining to watch, and he's a great fighting games player. But you saw him against Justin; he didn't have any answers for that at all.
Yeah.
And another player who does stuff that's crazy unsafe is Brent's Ken. Like I saw him do stand jab into run like so many times.
Oh my god!
And that's minus double digits again. So
yeah,
digits.
Like, but people are not ready for it because they're on tilt. Like they're in that tournament zone. They're not comfortable in these matchups yet. They're not. It's not muscle memory to them to punish everything with the max punish that they have. That's why you're seeing people go for throws. That's why you're seeing people do like jab combos and stuff because it's not drilled into them yet. But I really feel like the end game of this is. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Sorry to cut you off, but technically, if you see Ken run, you should stick out a jab or something, right? There's no if you can see him run.
It, always. 100%. If you've blocked it, it's the best it can be is -4.
Okay.
And that's off fierce.
There's no thing that you can do where you can just always stick out an attack just in case he decides to throw you or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Like if he throws you, that throw's not active till like 9 frames later.
Yeah, that's way too late. Like,
yeah. So then on defense, can I be mashing jab as soon as I see a run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
every time.
Every time. Counter hit, by the way, he gets counter hit. So.
Yeah.
Maybe not just jab. Maybe a strong. Then is that feasible?
Well, it's 4 frames, so he can block it.
Okay.
If he does it off of fierce, it's 4 frames. If he's doing it off like crouch medium punches and standing light kicks and medium kicks and stuff, the apps there, go and check the numbers on all those things.
I've seen the crouching strong cancel a lot.
Guaranteed, it's -4 at best. So if you've got a button that you can press that will come out in 4 frames, then
actually,
go for that.
No, his standing fierce is -5.
Is it? After run?
Yeah.
Let me check.
It used to be -6 because I remember you could crouching fierce crush counter him if you're in the mirror match, but they buffed it a little bit to -5.
Assholes.
Giving him too much credit.
Buff Bison.
Standing fierce.
Ken's amazing though. I just love his play style.
Oh shit! You know what? It still says it's -6 in the app.
Yeah. Then they see fixed.
Yeah, it must be.
So there's it says -5 then.
It is -5.
Okay. Update the app.
There's some mediums.
But yeah, if you have a 5 frame medium and you can counter hit combo him every time.
Nice. test that anyway. Don't just trust things. Don't just read things and trust them. Don't just listen to people and trust things. Say them. No, why I thought it was -4. But yeah, just go and test stuff out. Like turn your console or your PC on. Check out what you can do in different situations. And that's how Infiltration trains. He's made that very clear. It's like I just sit in training mode and work out different situations and do them and work out what I can do in situations. And that was very clear from watching him play different players. He kind of came a little bit unstuck a little bit against Marn. I guess he probably wasn't ready for like how Marn was playing, but
I'm just gonna say this right now. Like later on, you will see Infil use someone other than Nash as his main, because right now no one is good at pressuring Nash, which is his weakness. Maybe they don't have a great game plan yet, but at the moment, if like I know that you and I disagree on this, because I think a great Mika should beat a great Nash, but no one can do it right now because they don't have their timing down. And there's also the infiltration name value.
As soon as Nash blocks any of her pressure, he's out because he can just reversal out of there. If she goes for clap, then he's out. Like if there's a 2-frame gap, he can V-trigger out. And then she's got to go the whole way across the screen again. And it's really difficult for her. And she's, like you said, she's got no footsies. The number of jump-ins that Marn landed on people was ridiculous.
They're scared. They're just scared.
Yeah. The number of he was, like we said, he was just whiffing claps in front of people, and they were not doing anything about it. So yeah, I mean, I understand it's scary. She's a scary character, especially when you don't have like tremendous amounts of matchup experience against that. All grapplers are good early on. All of them are always good early on in the game because you don't know how to get around that shit. And by its definition, command grabs break the mechanics of fighting games in that you just can't block them out. And you can't take the throw. So your defense is irrelevant against the grappler, which means you need to know what buttons to press in what situation to just keep them the fuck away. And that's matchup experience. And I feel like Nash has got the buttons for that, man. Like Nash has got a lot of good buttons. Okay. I think Garle's going to blow her the fuck up though when he comes out. That's going to be horrible.
I think Gargoyle Alex is going to fuck up Alex all day. Have you guys seen what Alex looks like? I mean, there's some screenshots. Big ass biceps, looking like Blanca with human skin tone.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man! Like,
is he what you imagined Alex to look like?
He's pretty ugly.
It's pretty ugly. Well, I mean, he could be really fun. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad character or anything.
He's just ugly. Like, he just looks ugly. His ults are fucking horrible as well. I got so excited because, like, I've got that. Where's the? You know, like the Alex ult. I'm ready to go. Alex. But then he's just like walking around barefoot in like some Andre Agassi 90s tennis, like with the cycling shorts and the short jean shorts, and a fucking belly top.
That's the best part. But the costume that is possibly worse than Alex's is
Ken.
Ken. You're cosplaying as Ken at the moment.
Why are you guys hating on Biff?
Back to the Future.
Eddie Brock. It looks like Eddie Brock. Oh, yeah. There's been some great memes about. I don't know. Like, do they show these costumes to people before they let them out in the world? Like, who's saying, yeah, that one's great. Go with that one. That's really good. Fuck, that's a horrible costume. He looks like, I said it on Twitter, he looks like they've just imported a first level grunt character from Final Fight that you beat
exactly
with 2 punches. Like, he looks so bad. Why can he not have a good haircut in Street Fighter 5? He's got no good haircuts in Street Fighter 5. They all look bad.
Just use the Alpha Ken.
Even Ken's hair looks bad.
I like that one. Not bad.
I think it's the art direction, to be honest. I don't like much of the hair in this game.
I don't like how Ken like looks at you. Even in Street Fighter 4, like the character portrait, he's like staring into your soul, like this, like that, right? In Street Fighter, in vanilla Street Fighter 4, do you remember his portrait was actually different?
No.
His eyes were changed in Super to look crazy.
Really?
What? Are you shitting me?
Go look up vanilla. Random. Go online right now. Look up Vanilla 4 Street Fighter 4.
Edit this into the video, please, so that people can know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
I'm gonna edit the picture myself if it's not true. So
Do it. Oh, if it's not true, you're gonna...
but it's true.
He's looking like this, like.
That is super right there. That's super Ken.
Okay.
Vanilla 4 looks normal. How do we get on that topic?
What else?
Anyway,
I love some of the other costumes though. Like
Nash is cool.
Nash costume's awesome. Doctrine Dark looking costume. And it kind of obviously follows up with Guile's Orc costume from Ultra.
No, that's true, huh?
I like Zangief's Macho Man Randy Savage costume. That one looks awesome. What else did I like?
He like took a risk with it, but it paid off.
Yeah, I actually really like Armika's one as well. I think that's going to be broken though a little bit. Like I can see those feathers just getting in the way, and
you don't even know that one to animate that, like to render that. It is so bad. If on PC, just because I played the PC version with that costume, it will slow down the game on max settings so badly because there's so many particles in her hair. It's crazy.
I hope it's not like that still.
For PS4, I hope it's not as bad as I've seen it. So yeah, be careful, guys. If you're on PC, max settings, Armika alt costume is nuts.
Turn that down. But yeah, I mean, Alex is out there in the wilderness. People are streaming and playing him. By the time this gets out, I'd imagine that he'll be out by now. Anyway, he's out tomorrow as we record this. He's pretty cool. He's got all of his stuff from Street Fighter 3, like 7 special moves.
He's very mobile
DDT
looking
anymore. It's gone into like a headbutt now, which is interesting. But other than that, he's got everything: boots, power bombs, all of that good stuff. Ric Flair chops. Yeah, he's nice. I like him. He's very limited in terms of combos. I think it's all very sort of like 2-3 hits, or maybe a couple more if you're using cancels and supers and stuff. But other than that, he's pretty much just buttons. It's nice though. I like him. The V skill's pretty cool.
I can't say shit. I just know when you hold down his V trigger all the way and he clotheslines you, for some reason he has like steam lines coming from his body.
That's in V trigger. He's got that all the time. Yeah, for some reason I don't know why. Yeah, like how Ryu's got the electricity around his fists and his signal. But yeah, he's got like a ghetto version of focus attack / parry / like breathless from Abel, I guess. It's interesting. Have you used him much at all, Shady, whilst you were working on the?
No, I didn't touch Alex at all.
Okay, all right. So if you activate V trigger, you can use the V trigger button again, and he gets like the running lariat. I don't know what it's called, but you charge it up, right?
Is he actually running? Because I think the animation he's just standing in place, right? And then he like moves really far when he clotheslines you.
Yeah, so it's a running lariat. Yeah.
Okay.
When you let go of it. So if you hold down the buttons, if you get hit in the first few frames, I don't know how many frames it is, but if you get hit in the first few frames, it basically comes out like a parry rather than a absorb. Then after that, when it charges up to a certain level, if you get hit, then he does the clothesline through you, and you can combo off that. And if you hold it down the whole time, it becomes unblockable, but it's scaled to hell, and you can't really link anything after it. But the normal one you can link after. You can link. You can definitely do standing medium punch after it on any of the clotheslines. And I've seen it charged up so that you can do standing fierce afterwards as well. So he does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage in not a lot of moves. So if you get hit by his normals, it's going to hurt. He's got really good range buttons as well because he's such a big character, but he's quite quick as well. His walk speed's good. His dash is good.
I'm curious if he has a cross up.
I think he does.
Cross up stomp doesn't count, but like a normal cross up.
I think he's got light kick. is a cross up.
Are there characters that don't have cross ups?
No, every single character so far has cross up.
Does them too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
Liar.
Cammy almost doesn't have a cross up.
Let me check. Let me check now.
Cammy almost doesn't have a cross up, but you can cross up that light kick.
It misses all the time.
Yeah, it's really, really finicky. I'm guessing Balrog will be the first person that doesn't have a cross up. Unless they completely change him and now he's like, learn how to kick.
He only uses his legs now. So basically, like the first thing I'm gonna test when I have Alex is I'm gonna do crush counter sweep and then charge up V trigger.
Yeah, yeah.
See how that works.
So he guard crushes. That's what V trigger does, right? Yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
it scales to 50%, like Ryu, probably.
Okay. Yeah, it's exactly the same situation.
Yeah. That was like a universal system change they added for final. Like guard crush will automatically scale combos to 50%, which makes sense because it's kind of fucked up.
Well, I wish I had that shit.
But other than that, he's really good. His normals are great. Standing medium kick's awesome because it's really quick and it's got good range. They've kind of switched around some of his normals. Like his standing light punch looks like his old standing medium punch, and his standing medium punch looks like his old jab. So kind of weird. But his standing medium punch is really good for buffering into flash chop from like safe range.
Into strike.
And his hard kick is like it's like a big step kick, mad range on it. Pretty cool. I think he's going to be really good.
I'm gonna try him out because I need secondary characters, and he's ugly, so
he's ugly as shit.
I can't see you playing him. He doesn't look like your style.
Just do a bunch of stomps, mobile stomps and shit.
Dude, I guess so.
His stomps are kind of weird. I'm sure there'll be setups for them, but like it kind of feels difficult to make the stomp hit.
In that one video where the dude basically hacked Alex, right? Like he's stomping all over Rashid, but he doesn't actually hit him, right?
It's like it goes like back down their head, but never hits them.
It's like
it's kind
boom, 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 boom. Like Rashid was just like staying there in his idle pose. Yeah.
It's kind of awkward to make it hit. And the EX one you can make. It's like it feels like if you go up back or up forward when you do the stomp, it goes different places on the screen. It definitely doesn't track though. Definitely doesn't track.
It's quick. That's all I noticed. It's
definitely and they're obviously they're overheads as well, so you need to block them.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's got a nice mix up with that and so obviously the stomp is charge and kick, but if he does charge and punch, then he just jumps and then lands and does a command grab on you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the videos that are on ShadyK. So
he grabs you to headbutt, which does a ton of stun.
Should have watched.
But it doesn't leave you like close to him; it leaves you kind of far away. But yeah, it's interesting. He's got a lot of options. He's obviously got above average health as well, so he can afford to take a few guesses. And he's got good buttons on the ground, which is different from most of the grapplers in this game.
And he's also free. He's the first DLC character, and it's going to be free for the public. You don't have to.
He's
pay
only
anything.
a free trial for a while. So listen, what do you guys think about this situation with the store and the store not being open and they're letting us test out Alex until the store's open? What do you think about?
Well, it's unfortunate, but at least they have it in mind that they need to reward. I mean, they even worded it on their blog, right? Their official blog. They said like, thanks for being patient with us, and until the whatever it's called, the store is open, we're going to be giving you guys these 2 free costumes and Alex as a character. So I mean, if they didn't acknowledge that at all, I guess that could have been worse. Of course, we want more, and of course, we wouldn't want these problems to have in the beginning. But I think the right move was made. In terms of future DLC characters, I would like the process to. I would like the process to be different.
I like the idea of letting people use the character for a week or two when they come out. I like that. because we want to encourage people to actually buy this shit, right? So letting them have a go with them makes sense to me, and I think they should continue this practice of letting the character out there for a week, maybe 2 weeks, as a free test. And for anyone that's got the season pass or like that actually buys the character in the first week, I don't know, maybe give them a free color or a free alt costume or something, like just for being an early adopter.
Or like even an exclusive color or costume.
Maybe, but yeah, that you can't get. Yeah, that would be cool. Color probably more so than costume, but I think that would be cool. Like, it gives a reason to people investing into the season pass. It gives a reason for people to actually, pay for the DLC as soon as it drops, which is good for Capcom, and lets people try stuff out. That maybe haven't got a lot of disposable income and want to just try out the characters before they slap down the dollars or yen or pounds or whatever they're spending their money, just to see whether they actually want these characters before they buy them, because it is a $60 game or whatever it is in America already. So lumping more money into that, quite an investment for some people anyway.
I'll slip you Kamavin's email later after this podcast.
What's that for?
Pitch it to him. Pitch him this idea.
I said it to our community manager already. It works in League of Legends though. They give people free trials on heroes and champions and summoners or whatever the hell they're called. They've got like a rotational system which works.
If you didn't like the character, you weren't gonna buy it anyway. So just not much harm in trying it out.
No, I mean, and to be honest with you, as we've seen with what's happened today, like letting people use the character for a week. Oh no, PC players are going to have that on all the time. World, like, you've seen PC players can basically do what the fuck they like. If you're letting them download it and it's on their hard drive, they're going to access that shit and use it. So you can't do anything.
There's going to be nude Alex in less than 24 hours.
Gonna be.
Did you make it already?
Jeez.
Already in my spank bank.
Nude Alex.
I'm trying to be a bit more corporate friendly, so I swallowed those 5 jokes that came straight to my head.